How do we make really great decisions? The first thing is deciding not to decide is a decision, and it can be the right decision. How many of you are high D or high I and you've taken the DISC thing? Well, everybody here is taking it, I guess, right? Yeah, so, okay, there we go. Yeah. And so you are going to make decisions too quickly like I do. And you feel the need to make a decision because you should make a decision. Dave just did a thing on decisions. I need to make a decision. And sometimes deciding not to decide and letting these things play out, like he's driving his car over the cliff, and you look back and you go, I don't think I can stop it no matter what I do. I can jump in front of the car and die as he goes over the cliff, or I can just watch. Have you ever been really angry and sent an email or made a decision you wished you didn't make? Say yes. Have you ever been really scared and made a decision or sent an email that you wished you hadn't done while you were scared? Say yes. If you're breathing and you're a leader, you have to answer yes to both those or you're lying to yourself. I have. I violated both of those. And sometimes I figured out if I just wait overnight, my brain grows back. Because I'm not so pissed off I can't breathe. Does that make sense? Or if I wait overnight, all those things that were going to be the end of the world, you get up the next morning and it's a little mouse. Like, it's nothing. It's nothing. Just step on it. It's done. It's a lot of death of animals in this talk, but procrastination can be avoided by setting a self-imposed deadline. If you're a high C or high S, raise your hand. Should be roughly 40% of you in the room. Yeah, that looks about right. You were trying to decide whether to raise your hand or not, right? So the C needs all the details. The S needs to make sure all the people are in line and everybody's happy before they can move along, typically. So what you have to do in those cases is you have to force yourself to make a decision, and the good way to do that is write a deadline, put a deadline down, recognizing the reality of an actual deadline, or just set a deadline. This is driving me crazy. I keep putting up with it. I keep kicking the can down the road, and so I am going to decide August the 1st if this person is going to stay. I'm not going to worry about it anymore. I'm going to put it on my calendar, and between now and then, I'm going to continue to gather facts, continue to observe, continue to pray for them, continue to think about how they think, how they look, and then on August the 1st, I'm actually going to make the decision because I've been putting it off for no reason other than I've been putting it off. Does that make sense? Say yes. You need a deadline. Write it down. When you're making a decision, take time that is proportionate to the impact of the decision. If you're running a $10 million top line organization a year, which a bunch of you in here are based on those numbers I gave you a while ago, if you're making $1 million decision, that's a huge freaking decision. If you're making a decision to buy copier paper, don't be paralyzed. People get paralyzed about the wrong things on making a decision. Slow down on the big ones, speed up on the slow ones, on the little ones, so that slow down on the big ones, speed up on the little ones, and when you speed up on the little ones, it gives you more time and margin, emotional, spiritual energy to work on the big ones. Because if you got 15 little ones in your head while you're working on a big one, it distracts you from what you should be focusing on. Make the call on the little ones, clear your brain so you can focus on the big one or delegate them one. Get them out of your brain so you can move on. If you're debating on copier paper and you miss signing the lease on time on your $1 million deal, that would be a problem. Because the copier paper distracted you. The consumer does this all the time. We see it in the financial world. They go opposite of what they should. They impulse the purchase of a car, but when you're in the gas station trying to pay for gas, dude with his fanny pack is frozen. He can't choose between Dentyne and Eclipse gum. It's freaking him out. I'm like, dude, neither one's going to help you. Buy one. It says sexy on there. It's not talking about you. Okay, move on. Get out of the way. Little decisions should not paralyze you. Make the little ones fast, make the big ones slow, and when you're making big, major decisions, which is kind of what we're talking about today, it gives you time to do it properly.